ISP senses that and is able to combine multiple pixels together to give you up to 2 f-stops greater performance in those scenarios. And you really see the difference in your low light pictures. And this optical system has been amazing with this 5-element lens. One of the best ways to get a better, sharper image through an optical system is more advanced alignment of those lenses for focusing. And the team now is measuring down to the micron level to create better aligned lenses, and you really see a difference in the quality of the image. And for the first time, we cap off this optical system with a sapphire crystal lens cover. So, sapphire is renowned for being hard and crystal clear, and it helps protect your lens and make your images clearer and sharper. On top of this camera system, we have a new ISP, image signal processor from Apple, built into the A6 chip. And it does some tremendous things to help improve your photography. It does spatial noise reduction. We want to remove the noisy particles, especially in low-light images. So by looking at surrounding pixels, we can determine where the noise is and help remove that. We also have an Apple technology called a smart filter that looks at the image before the ISP does its noise reduction and can figure out where there's areas that should be uniform color, like a blue sky, and other areas where they're texture, and you shouldn't be doing noise reduction on that. And it's really powerful to deliver amazing low-light performance. We also have faster photo capture, and the iPhone 4S was already really fast. This is now 40% faster. But it all adds up to simply using it and seeing what kind of pictures you can get. So we've taken the iPhone 5, we've taken pictures with it, and these are from the camera, untouched, and see what you think. The ocean just looks bluer on the iPhone 5. Kids look happier. They really do. And the world is just a more beautiful place when you take pictures with the iPhone 5. Now this is incredible. This is a macro photo, beautiful bokeh or blurred background as you would want from a great camera system. I'm going to just zoom in a little bit. Look at that bee. You can see the veins on the wings of the bee. I don't know if you've ever tried to do that in a photo. It's not easy. This camera is tremendous. And with iOS 6 and iCloud, you now have a new feature called shared photo streams, where you can take your photos and automatically share them with your friends and family where they can like them and comment on them. But perhaps the most amazing feature of the new camera in iPhone 5 is called Panorama. And this is incredible. With typical legendary Apple ease of use, you just tap and say, I want to take a panorama photo. You hold your phone vertical to get the maximum area, and then you just sweep your scene. And the software tells you what pace to sweep it out to get the perfect image. And what it does is astounding. You get remarkably beautiful photographs, incredible panoramas. This image is 28 megapixels in size, taken right on your iPhone 5 camera. And what the software does is unbelievable. Behind the scenes, in real time, while you're panning, it is taking slices of photos, finding the edges, stitching them together, creating seamless transitions between those photos for one beautiful panorama. It's even able to determine a nonlinear path through it if you're not perfectly stable, and align it, and remove some of the echo artifacts you get if people or objects are moving while you're trying to get that pan. It is truly breakthrough software for panorama photos. Let me zoom in a little more and show you the quality of this image. It's simply stunning, the detail. Now, we use this one because it's a tough one. So you can see the exposure changes from one end to the other as it goes from dark to light. There's even people standing there in the corner that were tougher to see when we pulled out such a large photo. I have one other example just to show you how much fun you can have with the panorama feature. This is one panorama photo. Looks like there's two people in it. Those are not twins. That's the same person. I'll leave it to fans of the iPhone to figure out how to do pictures like this and have a blast taking fun panorama photos. Well, the camera is amazing for taking pictures. It's also a lot better for video as well. We still take 1080p HD video. We've improved the video stabilization with the new ISP and the A6 chip. We have face detection for up to 10 faces while you're shooting the video. And, of course, you can take photos while you're recording video. And the camera on the front has been updated as well. The FaceTime camera is now a FaceTime HD camera, 720p, backside illuminated for great low-light performance, does face detection, and you can do FaceTime over cellular networks as well. So that's the new camera. iSight and FaceTime cameras built into iPhone 5. Everything's been updated in iPhone 5, and that goes for the audio system as well. We now have not 2, but 3 microphones built into iPhone 5. One on the bottom, one in the front, and another in the back. This helps in many situations. You're doing a FaceTime call, you're creating a video, you've got the perfect placement for your microphones. We can use them for noise cancellation solutions, and we can use them for beamforming, which is important on voice recognition in applications like Siri. So a big advance in the microphones. We've improved the speaker as well. Now, instead of 2 magnets in the transducer, there's 5 magnets. It gives a better frequency response for the audio. And best of all, they fit it into a space that's 20% smaller while sounding better. We've even updated the earpiece so that when you hold it to your head and make a call, not only do we noise cancellation on your voice going out to whoever you're speaking with, we do noise cancellation on what you hear through your own earpiece, removing some of the surrounding noise in your area to make it clearer to listen to your call. And we've got a new technology called wideband audio if you want amazing sound performance. But what's this? Well, in a typical cell phone call, this is what it looks like, the frequency of the data in your voice. And you see it's somewhat compressed around the mid-range to help make that call more intelligible. But it doesn't sound entirely natural all the time. So with wideband audio, we can fill out more of the frequency spectrum and make your voice sound even more natural. This is a new technology. We're just starting it, and we have carrier partners around the world working with us on it. We'll have 20 at launch supporting this. Great partners like Deutsche Telekom and Orange supporting it at launch. So that's the new audio system in the iPhone 5. Next. The connector. You know, the iPhone, from its start, has used the iPod 30-pin connector, which we launched originally in 2003. And it served us well for almost a decade. But so much has changed since we first created that 30-pin connector. So many of the things we used to do over the wire, we now do wirelessly. We use Bluetooth now to connect to speakers and headphones and car systems. We use Wi-Fi to, for example, do AirPlay to our TV or to our stereo. We can do Wi-Fi syncing to iTunes now. And best of all, with iCloud, we can download all our content wirelessly and even back up to the cloud. So a lot's changed, and it's time for the connector to evolve. And that's just what we've done. Our new connector is called Lightning. So now we have Thunderbolt and Lightning in our connector strategy. This connector is a modern connector for the next decade. All digital, 8-signal designed. It's adaptive to what those signals need to be for the different accessories you might plug into. It's more durable and much easier to use because now you can plug it in either direction. It doesn't matter. And best of all, for the engineering team to make a product like this, it's 80% smaller. It's a huge difference in the world's thinnest smartphone. We're working with accessory makers to have them integrate Lightning connectors into products you may choose to buy. For example, this holiday season, we have great partners working with us. Partners like Bose, JBL, Bowers & Wilkins, Bang & Olufsen, and many more. But what about all the devices and speakers and connectors you have now that you already have that use a 30-pin connector? Well, we're creating a bunch of accessories to help you with that. This is a 30-pin to Lightning adapter, and it works just like you'd expect. You can plug your 30-pin cable into it and it into your iPhone 5. So a typical example for this might be in your car, where you have an iPod connection kit. You just plug in this adapter, you can just leave it there. Now whenever you jump in your car, plug in iPhone 5, and you can charge and listen to your music as you go. So that's the new Lightning connector. Perhaps one of the most important features of iPhone is the software it runs. And we have iOS 6, the latest version of the world's most advanced operating system. And it's been designed from the very beginning to take full advantage of this beautiful 4-inch Retina display and all the performance and features the iPhone 5 has to offer. So what we'd like to do is have you see for the first time iOS 6 running on the new iPhone 5. And to do that, I'd like to invite up Scott Forstall. Scott?
Thanks, Phil. We are really excited about iOS 6. It has so many new features in it, and I'd like to go ahead and demo just a few of those for you here on the iPhone 5. We'll start off with our brand new Maps application. We have built Maps from the ground up to use vectors, so it's incredibly smooth to zoom in and out, to rotate around. We've also built a search engine in so you can look for local points of interest. We include over 100 million points of interest, including restaurants. I'm going to go ahead and search for Luce Restaurant. When it finds it, we have this great info card, which includes reviews with a partnership with Yelp and lots of photos. And we've also built in free turn-by-turn directions. And so just by tapping on that car icon, you get a quick route. And let's go ahead and start.
Starting route to Howard Street. Turn left onto Mission Street. In 900 feet, turn left onto 4th Street.
You can see we have this beautiful 3D turn-by-turn directions. As we take you around turns, we use a cinematic camera angle to fly you around.
Turn left onto 4th Street, then turn right onto Howard Street.
We have all the footprints of these buildings correct.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Howard Street.
At any time, you can tap to get an overview.
Turn right onto Howard Street, then the destination is on your right.
I can zoom out, see the whole route.
In 700 feet, the destination is on your right.
I can zoom in or just tap to resume. And all of this works in landscape in addition to portrait.
Arrived at Howard Street.
And that is turn by turn. We've also got great satellite imagery. So let me switch to satellite here. And when you're looking at this, actually in the bottom left corner, there's a button of a 3D buildings. And when you tap on that, it takes you into Flyover. And Flyover literally allows you to fly around the scene with your fingers. It's just gorgeous. And we've added Flyover for areas around the world. So let me choose one other. Let's go to Big Ben in London. It's amazing. And you just tap on it yourself and zoom right in. Give yourself a virtual tour of the area. If you take two fingers, you can change the camera angle. And down. Zoom around so you can see Parliament. Just gorgeous. And that is Maps in iOS 6. Next up, I'd like to show a nice little enhancement we made to Notification Center. Now, you can get to Notification Center at any time just by flicking your finger down from the top of the screen. And now, right from Notification Center, you can post to Facebook or tap to tweet. I'll go ahead and tweet. I'm going to tweet love Flyover. And it's that easy to tweet from anywhere. Next up, let me show you some enhancements we've made to Safari. Now, first, you'll see Safari just looks great on this big 4-inch display. When you go into Landscape, it looks great. And you see those arrows in the bottom right. If you tap on them, it now takes you to full screen mode. So the page takes the entire large display. Now, here you can see there's an article about David Hockney. Now, I have another website open to a David Hockney article back on my Mac. And now, in iOS 6, I can get back to any of the articles I have open on any of my devices on the go. It's something we call iCloud tabs. So I tap on iCloud tabs. It shows the 4 windows I have open back on my Mac. I'll choose that first one. It takes me right to that web page on the go. So iCloud tabs. Next, I'd like to show you some enhancements to Mail. We've added a feature called VIPs to Mail. And VIPs allows you to mark people as VIPs, and then all of the messages from them in the inbox are collected in one place. So here's a message from one of my VIPs. It's also a lot easier to now flag something. So this is about a family camping trip.